Watching movies and jamming out. K-Flix 198.4 Fiction Radio.
Welcome back to K-Flix Fiction Radio. This week we're talking about the band formerly known as Smash Mouth,
formerly known as Scrotation Marks,
formerly known as Handrail Suicide,
formerly known at various times as 3-Skin, 4-Skin, and 5-Skin.
All right, we could do this forever. We're talking about Mouse Rat this week, or Rat Mouse if no Andy Dwyer.
Sure, yeah, those are the rules in the Parks and Rec universe.
And this is a show that both of us have seen in its entirety before doing this show today.
Oh yeah, a couple times. It's kind of like the official millennial show that you've seen. One of them at least. Office is up there for a lot of folks too, but I would say this is in that world.
Yeah, well, go figure, same creators.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine though, I don't know if that's on the list. I love that show. You love that show.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is definitely in the mixtape list.
No, I mean the list of official millennial everybody's seen them shows.
Gotcha. I was confused as to what list we were talking about a second.
Our lists.
I'm always focused on the show lists.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Mouse Rat and a little bit about some other townsfolk from Parks and Rec, from Pawnee, Indiana.
Listen, there's no way we're not going to touch on some Duke Silver. We're going to cover some Johnny Karate.
Why? Yeah.
As much of this stuff as we can cover.
Johnny Karate, the same person as the Mouse Rat guy.
Yes, yeah.
Different character, different song style.
Totally.
I'm excited to talk about the Evolution episode, the one where he figures out how to be a kid's musician.
Oh.
Using the song Sex Hair.
Yes, yeah. This show has so many laugh out loud moments. Again, I've seen the entire show several times, probably 3, I think, all the way through.
Okay.
And I was belly laughing very hard while watching the episodes for today's show.
Nice. Yeah, it's always such a joy to see it again. It's a comfortable world to return to, Pawnee.
Yeah, good old Pawnee, Indiana. I would love to try a fucking paunch burger, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I would love a JJ's waffle.
Oh, that too. Hell yeah, give me that waffle.
Their delicious junk food was awesome. Looked awesome, at least.
And they have free Wi-Fi in the town. That's rad as hell.
Oh, yeah. This was a show that did the 1-year jump thing from the second to last to the final season.
Uh-huh.
And, went really big with a bunch of stuff. But, I feel like they landed it every time. It's a moment that's ripe for shark jumping.
Oh, yes, it really is.
I guess in shows like Scrubs did a big turn for their final season, and everybody unanimously agreed, oh, this isn't even the same show. It's
right.
A whole new cast, but that one's a little different. They tried to do the new class thing on the sly, basically.
Yes, but this one is a genuine jump in time, 3 years.
Oh yeah, 3 years. Yeah, not a year, 3 years.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, everything lands. It works really well, and it stays within the world of the show. None of the crazy stuff seems so crazy that I'm oh, they went cartoon, they ruined it.
And one of the beautiful things about the band Mouse Rat in this show is it's low stakes, so it's believable. They never become bigger than a local band. I mean, they play big unity festivals and things like that, but they never become a huge thing.
Yeah, I would say the least believable with any of the music stuff is the same as the other stuff. It's the celebrity appearances where you're what? And Parks and Rec in general did a good job of finding Indiana people to be in the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's all good. You know what character I appreciated more in the clips I rewatched for this more than ever is, and you might disagree with me here, but is the Billy Eichner character. I forget his name in the show. Craig, yes. I feel when it was first on TV, nobody was ready for Billy Eichner.
Right.
That version of him, at least, the almost pure Billy on the Street style.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just aged. I think it's aged well with time.
Oh, good.
Watching his intro of it's the first ever Johnny. He names Johnny Karate.
He does name Johnny Karate. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because he asks what he's called, and Andy can't come up with it, and he's it's too late.
Yeah, I did not remember that he came up with the moniker of Johnny Karate.
Just on the spot.
Pretty good. Going into this episode of the show today, I did not remember all of the minor fictional musical artists that were in Parks and Recreation.
Oh, yeah.
So I was genuinely surprised to come across so many of them. Did you remember them?
Well, give me an example.
Like, did you remember Freddy Spaghetti, the other kids performer in Pawnee?
Yeah. I remember Freddy Spaghetti. You got a clip from Freddy?
I do, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is him doing itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot linguini.
Right.
She cooked an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot linguine that she made for the first time that day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't get much of Freddy Spaghetti. To my knowledge,
No.
that's all we get of Freddy Spaghetti.
I think that's it, yeah.
In terms of him singing, at least.
But he's kind of like your standard kids clown without makeup sort of shtick.
Yes. We also get to see a little tiny bit of Bobby Knight Rangers perform at the Unity concert.
We do, yes. And they seem to only play one song.
Yes, Sister Christian by Night Ranger.
And they're dressed like Bobby Knight. Red sweater, the
White wigs. And then they all collectively throw chairs after their performance, which I really liked.
Yes, because that was very recent at the time. Bobby Knight was the coach at IU, right? Basketball coach.
Yeah.
And like had all kinds of temper tantrums over the years.
Oh, yes.
But like famously
Threw
chucked
the
a
chair.
chair out onto
Yep.
the court. And it was like very close before this episode was recorded.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure he was well known for throwing chairs. It wasn't like a singular incident. I think it was like he just throws chairs.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought there was one like in the 2010s that was like a big deal. No, like, yeah, okay. There's a clip from 85 of him throwing a chair. So
Yeah,
it was just what he did.
I
You're
think
right.
yeah. And as the Bobby Knight Rangers are finishing up, they mention another band called Steely Dan Quail that they're going to be playing with in the future.
Yep, we don't get to hear them, but good name.
But we do get to hear a little sample of the 17-year-old country star played by Bo Burnham. The character name is Chip McCap. We get two little samplings of his songs. This is called Beautiful Like My Mother, parentheses, Support the Troops.
His latest song, Beautiful Like My Mom, parentheses, Support the Troops, has like 2 million hits on YouTube.
She don't care about no fancy trend. She's just a mom from old South Bend.
Get home safe, boys, and thank you for protecting our freedom.
I think that's a great bit. I didn't think to look into this. Was Bo Burnham like involved with writing that song?
I don't know.
Because I think he's a really good songwriter in real life and doing his own comedy songs. So I'm like, I wonder if he was like involved with that.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. It's probably why he got approached for that specific role.
Yeah, fair.
We also get a tiny snippet of him writing one of the songs in the studio when Leslie comes to visit him.
I'll bring the girls, you bring the beer, and the troops will bring the freedom.
So, we're sorry to interrupt.
A lot of good troop stuff.
Yeah. We also get another famous musician playing a fictional artist in Parks and Rec. It comes from Jeff Tweedy of Wilco.
I was like, you talking Tweety?
Yeah. He plays Scott Tanner of the fictional band Land Ho.
Land Ho, yeah.
They also perform at the Unity concert. They perform a song called Pickled Ginger, which is just a Wilco song.
Yeah, yep. And are the Decemberists involved somehow with this too?
Well, the Decemberists play at the Unity concert, along with Letters to Cleo, who we talked about in the Josie and the Pussycats episode.
Oh yeah, we did just talk about them.
I completely forgot they were playing the Unity concert, so when they showed up, I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Where are the Decemberists from? Are they Indiana connected? Like, why were they? No, they're from Oregon, from Portland.
And I'm pretty sure that Letters to Cleo is playing the Unity concert because the character of Ben Wyatt wears Letters to Cleo t-shirts throughout some of the episodes.
Oh yeah. Because he's like a fan of early 90s power pop.
Yeah.
Big fan. I mean, we get some REM rants. And I love that all that's like seemingly born out of real Adam Scott feelings.
So that Pickled Ginger song is on the Mouse Rat album, the awesome album that came out a couple of years ago. But if you want to hear that song, you go ahead and listen to it on your own. I want to focus on the song that Jeff Tweedy wrote specifically for Parks and Recreation called Cold Water, which features a saxophone by Duke Silver.
Cold water falling, cold they're falling cold.
Like it's really weird because it does sound like just a Wilco song again, but with this weird 80s sax line that comes out of nowhere.
It's a really smooth sax.
It's very, I mean, Duke Silver was very smooth.
So this song is in Parks and Rec, but when I hear it, I feel like it was in Scrubs.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's a very Scrubs sounding song to me.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, it's got that feeling. Like Scrubs had, I'll never remember the guy's name. It was like Connors, the lead singer from Men at Work.
Oh.
Did like an original song for Scrubs, I believe.
All right.
Colin Hay is his name.
Wow.
Came up with it without Googling.
Yeah, no Google.
Yeah, there was like an episode where he's like the narrator. He's like the bard that takes you through the whole episode, like him and his guitar. But like, I don't know, like nobody can see him or something. There's some trick to it.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, though. It's that same sort of feeling.
Yeah, that like smooth indie rock vibe that Zach Braff really sort of digs on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, notably a part of soundtracking that show, Braff was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's some Wilco or some Tweety related something in Scrubs. I'm sure.
Oh, probably. I just thought it was cool that that Tweety wrote this song specifically for the show. I just assumed it was going to be another Wilco song that they slapped some saxophone on.
No, it's a wholly original thing. It does sound like Wilco, though. The guy's got a style.
So that leads us into the Duke Silver Trio, naturally, because he was just featured on that track.
Sure, yeah.
They have 3 albums in the universe of Parks and Recreation. Those albums are Smooth as Silver, Hi-Ho Duke, and Memories of Now.
We get to see the albums a few times
Yeah.
around town as we, meet certain people who are hip to the whole Duke Silver thing. April's parents know who he is, right?
Yes, her mom is a massive fan.
Yeah. Although seemingly doesn't recognize him at the door. I don't know. I was confused by that.
Well, to me, I feel like she does recognize him because I was specifically watching her and she's like very excited that he's there.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the dad is also excited, but the mom is really excited.
It's just weird that they don't say Duke Silver at that point because they're saving it for the reveal.
Exactly.
Moments later. I get it. But yeah, because they're like, Ron. Oh, you're Ron.
But the Duke Silver Trio can be seen every second Thursday of the month at Cozy's Bar in Eagleton.
Eagleton, yeah. The rival town.
Yeah, that's how Ron gets away with it for so long because nobody from Pawnee likes to go over to Eagleton.
I mean, some of the best stuff they did was like, it's kind of right out of the Simpsons playbook. Like, Eagleton is the Shelbyville to Pawnee's Springfield, for sure. The rivalry between the towns, the rivalry between Parks and the library feels so weird and real and hilarious. Like, all that little, like, in-joke type stuff, like, that you just get if you grew up in a, like, town that size.
Oh, yeah. They nailed the small town mentality so well in the show as a whole. It's really impressive.
They just happen to have way more like media coverage somehow than most small towns. They have like a whole ass TV station.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Pawnee, in my mind, it's the type of small town that I didn't grow up in. Like we grew up in like an almost proper small town. Obviously there are much smaller towns.
Sure.
But like what, like, 10, 15,000 people.
Right.
But like Pawnee is more like in my mind, a small town like Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Or a lot of places in Illinois or Indiana, like Rockford, Illinois. Massive like population compared to somewhere like we grew up. I mean, we're talking 100,000 people, but it's not Chicago. It's not a nationally known hub of anything necessarily. So like my guess is Pawnee is more that size.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then everything makes a little more sense. Like they have a news station. They have all the things a big city would have. It's just the small city. Small city. It's not a small town. It's a small city.
Because when they go to Indianapolis, it's still like a step up for them.
Right. Yes.
So the first time that we see Duke Silver perform is when Tom Haverford is tipped off by Mark Brandanowitz to go check out Cozy's Bar to get some dirt on Ron Swanson.
Yes.
And the song that he is performing is a saxophone cover of I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner.
I don't think I caught that.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to play I Want to Know What Love Is because, come on, everybody knows that song, right?
Yeah. Sounds just like that, but with the vocalist.
Yeah. It's funny because most of the times Duke performs, it's a cover. Like, for instance, when he plays for Diane, it's a cover of Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
You're so lucky. I'm going to kill you.
That makes sense as like everything at Christmas is a cover, right? Or is a known song.
Fair. Okay. But in the Johnny Karate episode, he covers Kung Fu Fighting with Donna.
Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Raise it up.
This is awesome. Can you believe it, babe?
In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
That karate gi will stay here forever.
Okay, yeah. It is mostly covers. Fair. I couldn't find any insight into who did the saxing.
No. All the crediting I could find is just Duke Silver. Does Nick Offerman play the saxophone? I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of leads me to think that he does because Chris Pratt plays the guitar as Andy Dwyer.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a hidden talent that they just found out that Nick Offerman can play the saxophone and they were like, okay, but I have no proof of that.
Sources say that he does play the sax, but that they didn't know this when they wrote the Duke Silver character. The writers were not aware of the fact that he played the saxophone.
Wow.
Like he played when he was a kid or something.
Sure. Hey, I played when I was a kid.
Sax?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, in middle school.
Wow. Do you, like, if I handed you a saxophone now?
Could I play it?
Yeah.
I could blow into it.
Okay. Like, remember notes and stuff?
Hell no. Dude, I fucking struggle with what happened 3 days ago. I can't remember shit that happened fucking 30 years ago.
That's cool. I truly had no idea you were a sax man. I mean, I knew you were a sax man. The most underrated song on that Lonely Island album.
That is one that will make me cry laugh every time I hear it. Fucking play something, sax man.
The whole joke is the song is dedicated to sax man, but he's like shy.
Yeah.
He'll be right with you, folks. Like he covers for him for a while until he builds up to the fucking play something, sax man.
Speaking of the sexy saxophone, let's do the Mouse Rat song that features Duke Silver, Catch Your Dream.
Catch your dream and shackle it to your heart. Catch your dream, don't let it spread its wings and fly away. Catch your dream.
This song was written by Mark Rivers.
Okay.
And in the universe of the show, it was recorded at Double Time Studios, which is where Duke Silver records all of his records.
The one studio around, is that in Eagleton, I guess?
I guess it might have been, yeah. I didn't catch that, or if I did catch it, I didn't put it in my notes. But this was the song that was used for Leslie Knope's 2012 campaign song.
It's got a We Are the World kind of feel to it. That saxophone really does color anything it goes on.
Oh, so
like
well.
It instantly became about that. Like it sounds way different than any other Mouse Rat song because it's just got this wailing sax.
Well, it also has like a lot more vocals than a normal Mouse Rat song because all of the members of the Parks and Rec department are the backing vocals.
True. Yes. Yeah.
I am a little bummed that we don't get to hear any of the new song that Andy wrote because he thought Catch Your Dream was shit. The Promise of Tomorrow's Wings.
Yeah, because he didn't like it, and then Ron came in and Duke Silvered it up, and everybody got on board.
Yeah.
All right, Shawn, what do you say we dive into the main course? Get some Mouse Rat going.
Oh, hey, I'm real hungry.
Where do we begin with Mouse Rat? Mouse Rat is made up of people whose names are listed on a website that is gone from my browser.
So, I would like to dispute what's on that website, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. You're talking about the Parks and Rec wiki, yes?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, let me say what's on there so we give the people a place to start
Sure.
from. And then we'll bring in your dispute. Parks and Rec is made up of, as it says on this website on the internet, which is not affiliated with NBC or us or anyone really, Andy Dwyer on vocals and guitar.
Played by Chris Pratt.
James Pearson on drums. James Pearson played by... Don't know. Doesn't say on this site. Do you want that info for everybody?
So I couldn't find out anything about this James Pearson character, but everything else that I read said Matt Rivers played the drums in Mouse Rat for every season of the show. Sorry, Mark Rivers.
Mark Rivers, the composer.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Who wrote most of the songs for
Right.
Mouse Rat.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he did play the drums on the recordings, but was he in the...
He is. Like so the documentary thing that I sent you, that's Mark Rivers doing the talking head for the drummer.
Gotcha. Well, does he play James Pearson?
He might play James Pearson. I don't know. But I would assume that he plays Rivers because there are several clips that I saw in the episodes I watched where Andy says, "Oh, come on, Rivers," and stuff like this. He refers to the character as Rivers.
Interesting. Huh. I wonder if that's a little in-world mess up.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all. I just had some disputes like that because
Okay. Yeah.
most everything else that I was coming across said that it was Mark Rivers for all 7 seasons of the show.
Interesting. Well, my assumption would be then that his character name is James Pearson, but then that they messed up and that wasn't clear on set, and they were just referring to him by his real name.
That could be.
Now I want to, because there's a picture of James Pearson.
There is. But he looks a decent amount like Mark Rivers because
Sure.
it's just a white guy with glasses behind a drum kit.
I think that could be him. Yeah. Okay. So on IMDb, he is credited as sometimes as Rivers, sometimes as Mark, and sometimes simply as drummer
Okay.
in the episodes. At no point do they refer to him as James Pearson.
I don't know where that name came from.
I don't know where that name came from either, because it's not listed on IMDb at all. This is only on the Parks and Rec wiki.
Uh-huh.
Well, who'd have thunk? That's not the most reliable place to get information. Are the other ones correct as far as you know? I think they are. Michael Chang on bass.
Played by Alan Yang, who is a writer and producer of Parks and Rec.
Yes, that's right. And then guitar is Andrew Burleson,
Yep.
played by Andrew Burleson.
Andrew Burleson. Yeah.
Real guy.
Now, circling back to Mark Rivers, who we mentioned is the composer for all of the music in Parks and Rec and wrote most of the Mouse Rat songs. He is also the composer of Big Mouth.
He is, yes.
And there is one thing that is very interesting about his work on Big Mouth. There is a fictional band in the show. It's a boy band. It's called Bros for Life, featuring the vocal talents of Matt Rogers, Ed Helms, and Dustin, Adam Levine.
Oh boy, we haven't mentioned him in a while.
She snuck on the tour bus in LA, stowed away inside my bunk. By the time we got to San Jose, she was grinding on my junk. Our manager was a bit concerned, I was coming off a little fade. But your mom was there for a quick affair to kill the rumors I was gay. Girl, we got with your mom when we were famous, pretty and dumb. We used to pull out meth and baby. Girl, your mom was the bomb.
That song is Girl, We Got With Your Mom.
I like Big Mouth. It's a fun show.
Yeah, had some really funny stuff in there. But, I mean, Adam Levine, come on.
I've been waiting for so long to get him back on the airwaves through this show.
He's our mascot.
Pretty much.
I was just sitting around thinking last night, I was like, I'm going to Google Mark Rivers and Adam Levine together and see if anything comes up. And then,
Wow, that's how you hit it. That's great.
Yep. There's another fun clip that I found late last night. I was looking around the internet and I found that Rob Lowe and Alan Yang used to host the Parks and Recollection podcast where they rewatch episodes of the show.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of this podcast.
They had Chris Pratt as a guest on when the Awesome album was being released, and him and Alan talk about the release of the album.
Okay.
And we're going to have an album out now. Did you know about that?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Did you record that?
You recorded it while we were doing the show. I guess,
yeah.
It's Mouse Rat, the Awesome album. It's all the songs that we did on Parks and Rec. No one consulted me about it. They're like,
No.
Hey, do you want to promote this album? I was like, what? There's an album? And then they were like, yeah, do you want to promote it? And part of me is like, yeah, that'd be cool. I've always wanted to have that be like that actor who has the Vanity album. You know, I hope it gets 1 million copies and I get the fucking the platinum album on my wall. But then on the other hand, I'm like, but you're not gonna like, I don't think I'm being compensated for this beyond the whatever $15,000 an episode I was making for the show or something.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, I think no. I think I'm going to say no. A hard pass on promoting your album.
They didn't tell anybody. I don't think they told Mike. I don't know. It just came out. I don't know what I saw. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm in Mouse Rat. I didn't know about that.
I just hope that Mark Rivers gets compensated because that dude is the heart and soul and brains and talent behind Mouse Rat. So if anything, I would just advocate that Mark be taken care of because he did such a great job.
Absolutely. Mark Rivers was the drummer in Mouse Rat, and he wrote pretty much all the songs. And I think he recorded a lot of the tracks. And like he would record a scratch track, and then Chris would sing the actual vocals. But he's a really funny guy, and he's a great musician, and he wrote all these songs. Really complicated, as we said, GCD type songs, but they are pitch perfect for what it is, right? They're pitch perfect for what it is.
And in fact,
apparently nobody knew that this was getting released, which is fascinating. Like, how the hell do you get away with that? That's crazy to me.
It sounds like an NBC move to me.
All right, fair enough.
This reminds me of conversations we've heard from like the Lonely Island guys about like when they could and couldn't have their shorts online at various times in their career.
Okay.
Like the YouTube takedowns early on when NBC didn't get it. They're like, no, it's going to be on NBC.com and you have to click through all this bullshit. That's crazy. I mean, I got to say that clip, it started out pretty unrelatable because Chris Pratt was throwing out the $15,000 an episode like whatever basic money you get when you're a nobody. And it's like, bro, you're not being relatable. You're $15,000 per any week of work. It's not too shabby, buddy. But he brought it around by throwing all the credit to Mark Rivers. That was cool.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, I mean, like, he was trying to make a joke there.
No, I know. It's just, I have a thing where with anyone, any famous person, if they try to make a joke about, putting food on the table or whatever, I'm just like, fuck you. No, you can't get away with that. Only time you're allowed to talk about money is when you're giving it away. Sorry, that's the way it is.
Fair enough. I did learn another cool fact by listening to that podcast with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Mouse Rat apparently played the rap party every season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would just play whatever songs they had to learn that year.
Okay, fun. So it was a real band. They actually all could play their songs.
Yeah, apparently.
That's great. I mean, like they said in that clip, it is all like real basic chord stuff, but like totally fits what they needed.
Oh, yeah. Well, they mention within the universe of the show a bunch of different bands that Mouse Rat sounds like. Matchbox 20, Dave Matthews, Blues Traveler, Hootie and the Blowfish. And all of the songs do such a great melding of all of that sort of sound into one thing to where most of the time it's sort of hard to nail down what exactly they're sounding like at any time.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good mix of just the happier side of the 90s, I would say.
Yeah, totally. The Mouse Rat albums that we get in the universe of Parks and Recreation are the Awesome Album, Screaming Trees, The Loop of Nothingness, and My Cumbersome Heart.
Nice, yeah. Cumbersome is such the grungy word.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Shawn, what do you say we play a little bit of the song that started it all from Mouse Rat, The Pit? I mean, right away, this is kind of the most Pearl Jammy song. This is the most grungy opposite of Hootie and the Blowfish kind of sound. Not opposite, but just the other end of the 90s. I always felt like the voice he uses on songs like The Pit are in that Eddie Vedder realm.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're like a little bit dirtier.
Yeah. It's the thing where I think there's a clip in the show where they talk about like singing the A sound for all vowels, how that became a thing in the 90s.
There are multiple versions of The Pit throughout the run of Parks and Rec as well.
There are.
For instance, we get April singing with Mouse Rat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I love this song.
She's doing really good.
Yeah, she's doing the grungy vocal thing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's another thing that I discovered listening to the Parks and Recollection podcast featuring Chris Pratt. He compared The Pit to the same structure as this Guns N' Roses song.
Oh, I can hear it already. Totally.
Paradise City.
Yeah.
And then here's how The Pit opens again.
Yeah.
I can hear it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you saying Guns N' Roses was enough to get me there. I didn't even hear the clip, and I was like, I know where you're going with this.
So there's a point in Mouse Rat's life where they get hired to perform at like an old folks dance, and they're playing a bunch of vintage tunes, a lot of things that Frank Sinatra made popular.
Yeah.
But I would like to showcase the song I Only Have Eyes for You.
Okay.
Originally composed by Harry Warren with lyrics by Al Dubin in 1934 for the movie Dames.
Oh, for a movie. Wow.
Yes. So this is the Mouse Rat version of the song.
Are the stars out tonight? I can't tell if it's cloudy or bright. 'Cause I only have eyes for you.
Now you might be wondering why I chose to play that of all of the old-timey songs that Mouse Rat covers in that episode, and it's because, dear listener, I know that you're going to be so disappointed if I don't play some doo-wop in this episode, so here's the Flamingos!
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for
And that's from 1959.
I have never known what they were saying. It sounds like in the Mouse Rat version they were saying flip flop.
They're definitely saying
They're
flip-flop.
definitely saying flip flop. They're definitely not saying flip flop in the original.
No.
It's like
it's
doo-wop,
almost
doo-wop.
like a
or shabop. Yeah, something like that. I've always wondered what that vocalization looks like on paper, and we're no closer because they just changed it. You know, Chris Pratt really put on his crooner voice for that, though. I can tell he was trying.
He did. I love the joke of when the elderly woman comes up to him after a few performances and she's like, "Oh, you're so good. You sound just like Dean Martin." And he's like, "Oh, thanks. Who's that?"
Yeah.
So earnest and genuine, just like, "Oh, yeah, cool, thanks. I don't know who the fuck that is, though."
The one I want to talk about is Sex Hair.
I know that life is crazy. I know that life is free. Oh, I know I've been misbehaving, but my heart never skipped a beat. You got sex hair. You got it from me, girl. Sex hair. It's such a pretty rat's nest.
This song has some pretty heavy Hootie and the Blowfish style vocals on it.
Oh,
Like we're leaning back away from the grunge.
This one rings Hootie to you.
Everything. I can hear the Dave Matthews in there in the way he's singing. I can hear Hootie. I can hear, like, it's a bit of just that, like, wild card 90s, like the song Hey Sandy by Polaris, which most people know as the Pete and Pete theme song.
Oh, okay.
The guitar style is reminiscent of that. Some kind of REM. So I think Ben Wyatt might like this song. No, this is the the one he comments on, them sounding like Hootie, isn't it?
No, he comments on them sounding like Hootie in the Mouse Rat documentary.
That's right. Okay. Well, they were playing a song when he said it, but it doesn't matter. You perked up whenever I said that, though, the Hootie thing.
Well, it's not the chorus, but the verses. He's super Dave Matthews in his sound, for me.
Sure.
I was trying to think of a Dave Matthews song where his vocal cadence sounded like Sex Hair.
Yeah.
But I couldn't come up with anything. So if you're a big Dave Matthews Band fan and you hear a particular Dave Matthews Band song that sounds like the vocals on Sex Hair, please let me know, because I couldn't find it.
Dave had hit us up with what is the most Sex Hair sounding Dave Matthews song. I can definitely hear that in the vocals. But yeah, there's a lot of 90s mishmash again in this one.
Yes.
And this song does get a new life later in the show. I mean, we don't even this is right before the naming of Johnny Karate.
Yes.
Andy Dwyer's kid song performer character. He's trying to figure out like he gets the gig and he has to figure out how to be a kids party performer. And he's not ready for it at all. He changes the lyrics from Sex Hair to Sex Bears at first.
Yeah.
Okay, babe, here's what I did. Tell me if this is appropriate for a kid's song. I changed the lyrics in Sex Hair to, yeah, I got sex bears. You got 'em from me, kids. Sex bears. Big old sex bears.
Andy, the word hair was not the problem with sex hair.
It's good. It's a dumb joke. It's a good joke, though.
I can't imagine if he had gone out there and just performed Sex Bears for that group of children.
No, he eventually comes up with a perfectly kid-appropriate song about boogers or something, I believe.
And peeing the bed. There's a little montage.
Yeah, of just gross stuff. Kid-appropriate gross stuff.
Exactly. Give us a few minutes and perhaps you'll hear it, dear listener. But first, we're going to tackle Menace Ball.
Ooh, Menace Ball.
I know you've been changing. Well, I've been changing too. You say that you moved on. Well, I still dream of you. And I know I never believed that you would ever go. And I was blind.
So this is the Hootie song to my ears.
This one would almost sync up with Only Want to Be With You.
Oh, you Only Want to Be With You.
That's the only Hootie song I really know.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, I listened to quite a few Hootie songs to really zero in.
Okay.
And I would say that it reminds me of Time. It's got that same sounding guitar.
It does, yeah. It's a little more down-tempo. Darius Rucker's doing an Eddie Vedder in this, to my ears.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. This guy's had a 40-plus year career, and I still only know the one Hootie and the Blowfish song.
We also get a version of Menace Ball by Rat Mouse, Mouse Rat without Andy.
Sans Andy, yeah.
Oh, the band is moving me tonight. It's really good.
Really? It sounds kind of crappy to me.
That sounds like one of your songs, babe.
Well, you know what? Mouse Rat has a lot of influence on some of the local high school bands, mostly because Chang buys them beer and whatnot.
Wait, Andy, this is a Mouse Rat song.
That's my band. I didn't recognize us without me because I'm the only one that matters.
Thank you, everyone. We are Rat Mouse.
Who's singing in that clip?
Andrew. Burley.
Okay, yeah. He was that actor, Andrew, the real life Andrew Burleson, by the way, was a Blue Man for 6 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
From 2000 to 06, he performed with the Blue Man Group.
That's pretty cool.
I read that in his bio. I think he's done a few musical things, but that's the biggest one.
Nice. So in response to Andy seeing his band performing without him, he gets on stage and performs his swan song.
Once there was a golden swan of a man.
Just an actual song about swans.
Yeah.
A rock and roll band. He made incredible nachos that everybody claimed they loved. And then the bandmates dicked him over with a massive rock and roll show. This is my swan song. Watch me fly.
It's so, like, I mean this in the best way. It's such perfectly forgettable rock music that they come up with sometimes for this. Like, it's so generic, but like they did a great job making it that way.
Oh, yeah. So if you notice in that clip, he sings about like birds flying.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that as a reoccurring thing? Like the Macho Man kick you in the butt?
Oh, no. I wasn't paying attention to that. No.
Most of the Mouse Rat songs feature the lyrics, spread your wings and fly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And actually, Menace Ball and 5,000 Candles to the Wind both end with that lyric.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Specifically, spread your wings and fly.
Yep.
That's funny. I never noticed that. I mean, that is, I guess, a kind of a trope. Freebird, like the most tropey play it next song there is. Huh.
Yeah, Spread Your Wings and Fly is in not all of them, but most of the Mouse Rat songs. It's not in the pit, but...
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And speaking of 5,000 Candles in the Wind, let's go ahead and tackle maybe the most well-known Mouse Rat song of them all.
Yeah, I always forget the name of the song because in my mind, it's just called Bye Bye Little Sebastian.
And though we all miss you every day, we know you're up there in heaven's hay. But here's the part that hurts the most. Humans cannot ride a ghost. Bye bye, little Sebastian.
I do miss Little Sebastian.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does. He was an important fixture in that town. I mean, the joke of that song, of course, is Leslie asks Andy to write a song that's like A Candle in the Wind, but 5,000 times better. She's like, what's 5,000 times better than A Candle in the Wind? 5,000 Candles in the Wind. And that's the song where we get all the guest performances, right?
It is, but first we get a little insight into Andy's songwriting process.
In my heart, I'm sad you had to die. Lil horse, spread your wings and learn to fly.
Oh, there you go.
There it
That's
is.
why I'm telling him, learn to fly. Come on, help me. There's a lot riding on this. This is what little Sebastian's gonna listen to in Horsey Heaven.
And then at the end of the Unity concert, Mouse Rat comes out and everybody comes out with them. Land Ho, Bobby Knight Ranger, and we even get...
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Duke Silver!
Duke Silver, yeah.
And this is where Leslie and Ben find out that Ron is Duke Silver.
That's right. They're kind of the last to know. Everyone else has like stumbled upon it at some point.
Yeah.
We also have the real life musicians in here. Genuine is up there on stage, I know.
Genuine, Letters to Cleo, the Decemberists, everybody's up there, yeah. So we just finished the main course. Let's have a little dessert with Johnny Karate, and here is his first performance, as I mentioned earlier.
It feels super good, it's super fun, I wanna do it all the time.
This is still sex hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His boogers are gross, clean out your snout. You can pick your nose with your smelly toes.
And the Pee Your Bed song.
Everybody pees the bed, just something that we do. I, for instance, peed the bed till I was 32. Play with matches, they're really not safe. Your parents keep them in a drawer with twist ties and bats. Stinky beef patrol.
I was feeling a little Zeppelin out of Stinky Feet Patrol.
Okay. Yeah,
a little
all right.
Robert Plant, like, losing it.
I could totally hear that. That's great.
I mean, they sang about hobbits and shit. They're not above Stinky Feet, I'm sure.
Hell no. And we get quite a bit of music from Johnny Karate in general throughout the ending of the show.
Yeah, it's a whole second act for Andy's character, and more fame than Mouse Rat ever got, really. Johnny Karate seemed to become like a pretty big thing.
Oh, totally. The most successful thing Andy ever did on the show.
Yeah, I don't know if they go into it, but it feels like it's at least Indiana wide. Like it's not such just a Pawnee thing.
No, right. He even performs a little bit with Scott Tanner, played by Jeff Tweedy. He does Karate Chop Master in Scott Tanner's home.
It's easy, you'll pick it up. Karate chop master, I'm a karate chop master, and I will karate chop you. Chop, 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 kick, 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 chop. Scott, you sing. Chop, chop, kick, 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 chop. Chop and a kick, 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 chop, and a strike the throat and chop a kick, chop. Now your turn. Chop, chop, kick, kick, chop. Harmonies, oh my God! Chop, chop, kick, kick, chop, kick, 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 and a chop and a kick and a chicken and yo. No. It's not, you didn't, I mean, just listen.
Oh, I love that so much. Like, go ahead, sing with this song you've never heard before. Nope, you're not doing it right. Nope.
I mean, especially when the guest is an accomplished musician.
We also get the Johnny Karate theme song.
All that and more on the Johnny Karate Super Awesome Musical Explosion Show!
It's time to punch boredom in its stupid face.
Jump, kick, punch, jump.
And drop kick sadness into outer space. It's the Johnny Karate Super Awesome Musical Explosion Show.
That's a good theme song.
It's a great theme song. It's both kid sounding and enjoyable for me not being a child.
It's They Might Be Giants.
Yes!
It's Aquabats. It's that kind of for kids, but also not thing.
Right.
Which is what every kid's show became around that time.
That's true. Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yo Gabba Gabba was huge.
And they had countless fucking famous musicians to come onto that show.
Huge, yeah.
People that you never would expect to do a kid show did Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah.
The Johnny Karate solo episode in the final season of the show is such a terrific episode. I don't know where it ranks for you, but it is just so damn good.
Well, it was the thing where they gave each character like their own sign-off episode. It's an excellent episode. Just watching all of the cast on the Johnny Karate stage, you can see like they're feeling it for real. It's really coming to an end.
Yeah. And we get, quite a few musical moments. Again, the show has musical in the title of it. So we also get the song 5 Karate Moves to Success.
Sing it with me. Today we're gonna make something, learn something, karate chop something, and then we'll try something new, even if it's scary to you, and finally we'll have some fun being nice to someone, because that's the Johnny Karate way.
That one is very They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
Which I'm just realizing it was very Elvis Costello as well. And I think They Might Be Giants was kind of Elvis Costello, but with weirder, maybe more kid-friendly subject matter.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That's definitely something I've never thought about before.
I mean, I'm not the biggest, I don't have a categorical knowledge of They Might Be Giants. And I know they've done stuff that is definitely not for kids. Like, they're not a for kids band necessarily. They just found a niche where they could do stuff like that, and kids liked it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they did later on release like a full kids album as well.
Yes. Yeah, they eventually, they totally leaned into it. But like the bridge songs that got them there, like Istanbul was Constantinople, wasn't necessarily a kids song. It was just like a goofy song. But like it happened to not have bad words and be about like a silly geography thing that kids could get behind.
Particle Man, however, definitely feels more like a kid's song.
It feels more like it, but I don't know that it was written with that intent.
Fair.
Same album, I think.
It is the same album, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hard to pin down, those guys.
Speaking of hard to pin down, Dustin, I even asked your opinion on this earlier today. The Johnny Karate Goodbye song sounds like something, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what it is. So once again, listeners of K-Flix Fiction Radio, if this sounds familiar to you, please let me know what the hell it is.
Well, it's time for us to go, but I want you all to know that karate's not about fighting, it's about knowing who you are and being kind and honest while you're kicking for the stars. Yeah, that's
the Johnny Karate way.
I really like this song. It's a very sweet goodbye.
Yeah, it is.
I just can't place where that song, like it really just, it sounds like it sounds just like something in my head. I just can't figure it out.
It sounds definitively like something. You're right. And I also don't know what it is.
It's always so very frustrating to me when I can't get there in time for the show, because at some point I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. That's the nature of this biz. I looked up just now, by the way, to see if anyone was credited for either that song or the Johnny Karate theme song. And no, they both go uncredited. They're just listed as performed by the cast.
I gotta assume that that's a Rivers credit since he's composing most of the other music for the show.
I guess so. Since you're right. But interestingly, it does have credits for Kung Fu Fighting, and that one is listed as being performed by Nick Offerman and Retta.
Oh, fuck!
So I'm gonna say Nick Offerman played his own sax.
That's a good enough sign for me.
I mean, usually I'm going off IMDb, but those are the soundtrack credits in particular on IMDb are usually pretty good.
Yeah.
So unless we find some damning information between now and publish time, I'm going to go with that.
Works for me. I love when it's the actual actors doing the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So now the dessert is over, Dustin. I'm gonna fire off the typical question that ends the show. If Mouse Rat was a real band in our reality, would you listen to their music? Or Duke Silver, for that matter?
I wish that our small town had a Duke Silver growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it did and we just didn't know because we were kids. Just like a local sax guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be totally into that. Mouse Rat, I mean, I think they did such a good job making them sound so generic. Like I said, it's kind of a weird position of like, it's perfectly uninteresting, the music they play. I mean, it's all about the jokes and the lyrics, which is what it should be on a show like this. So it's hard to say, oh yeah, I'd like fire up Mouse Rat in my regular life, but it's perfect for the show.
Yeah, it's so perfect for the show. I have a tendency to get sex hair stuck in my head if I wake up from sleeping and my hair is just like super crazy.
Sure, yeah.
And the lyrics for 5,000 Candles in the Wind also just randomly get stuck in my head. So those two songs are big successes for my brain. I'll say that.
Yeah. 5,000 Candles in the Wind is a song. It's like a real song. The rest of them are kind of like mostly clips that they stretched out into songs.
Catch Your Dream is a real song. That's like a full-length song, too.
Catch Your Dream is a fully composed thing. Okay. Yeah, there are a few. But yeah, like I said, ultimately, it works so well for the joke, for the plot of the show.
Sure. I tend to agree with you. If Mouse Rat were just a band and not from this show, I don't know that it would appeal to me, but since it is from the show, I do like the music.
Well, that about does it for this episode.
Yeah.
Unless you have any other hidden Pawnee gems.
I don't have any hidden Pawnee gems, but I would just like to let the people know that we have a mixtape 3 coming up next week that features such things as Tropic Thunder and Champagne and Bullets as a few names to tease at you.
Champagne and Bullets. I don't think a lot of people are going to be familiar with that one. I certainly was not.
No, but they're about to be, and you're going to be real grateful for it.
We're also going to have we can say this, right? We're going to have a special guest next week.
Yeah, we are going to have a special guest.
Get excited. It's not Goofy again. He was a wreck. This person is known for being very put together, I think.
It's Eric from Internet Comment Etiquette.
Oh, we're giving it away. Yes, it is. It's Eric from, as you said, Internet Comment Etiquette. What a mouthful. Commenticate. I see why they call it that sometimes.
Yeah, you got to shorten it down.
You're longtime partner in crime, and I'm very excited to talk with him.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a blast. And if you had a good time with today's episode talking all things Mouse Rat, Duke Silver, and Parks and Recreation, please give us a rating and review on whatever platform you're listening to this on. And if it happens to be on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe, please.
And holler at us as usual at fictionradiopod.com and fictionradiopod@gmail.com.
See you next week for Mixtape 3.
Watching movies and jamming out. Fiction Radio.